Max Verstappen is bound to have a heated discussion with his team after the FIA releases its findings on the Turn 1 clash with Russell. It looks like the Red Bull team dropped the ball when it was crucial, and with their strategy now under question, is Verstappen's shot at clinching the Drivers' Championship getting dimmer? Moreover, what does this mean for the future of the Dutch ace at Red Bull? It's widely known that Verstappen was far from happy with how things unfolded at the Barcelona Grand Prix. He was forced to surrender 2 spots due to events in a couple of corners. When the safety car left the track, Verstappen's car slid, giving Leclerc a perfect chance to overtake him. Seizing the moment, Russell dove into Turn 1, pushing Verstappen off track, though Max didn't concede the spot right away. Convinced he was justified, he repeatedly argued against giving up his position. Eventually, he let Russell by after Turn 4, only to collide with him as they approached Turn 5. This reckless move highlighted how his emotions had taken over. In just a few laps, his promising position shifted from fighting for a podium to a precarious P5 or perhaps worse, all complicated by the lack of fresh, soft or medium tyres when they were most needed. Imagine the pressure on a 4-time world champion like Max. Still, that doesn't excuse his actions. We believed the Mad Max days were over. With 4 titles under his belt, he often claimed in 2025 he couldn't compete against the MCL 39s. That doesn't mean he'd throw in the towel for the rest of the season, but deliberately colliding with a competitor out of frustration isn't acceptable. After the race, the FIA released a report about the Turn 1 clash between Russell and Verstappen. Both drivers were scrutinised, and without returning the position, Verstappen faced a possible penalty. This likely led Lambiase to advise sacrificing just 1 position to avoid a harsher penalty. Little did he know Max would vent his anger on Russell. However, the FIA report revealed no penalty would have been given to car number 1. It clarified that car 63 tried to pass car 1 on the inside of turn 1. During the race, car 63 had its front axle slightly ahead of car 1's mirror at a crucial turn. However, the driver of car 63 briefly lost control, resulting in a collision with car 1 and causing it to veer off onto the escape road. Car 1 managed to get back on the track at turn 3, ahead of car 63. Since car 1 was forced off the track due to car 63's mishap and unintentional collision, there was no deliberate exit and therefore no further action was taken. Meanwhile, Verstappen might not be too thrilled about discussing this incident with his race engineer and strategy team. They completely misjudged the situation, which has now put the team under intense scrutiny. Choosing hard tyres for Max near the end of the race was a strategic blunder. Even if Verstappen had his reasons for his actions, it doesn't make them acceptable. Opinions should stay private or be communicated via radio, not manifested through actions that risk sabotaging other racers. This behaviour prompted the FIA to impose a penalty, a 10-second time addition and 3 points on Verstappen's super licence. In previous years, particularly in 2021, Verstappen often managed to escape penalties for similar actions during his battles with rivals like Hamilton. However, it looks like Verstappen's reign might be facing a challenge, with a new competitor, George Russell, stepping into the spotlight. Russell has openly criticised Verstappen, recalling his notorious comment from the previous year where he accused Max of resorting to aggressive behaviour when things don't go his way. Discussing the clash in Barcelona, Russell remarked that, from his viewpoint, it felt like Verstappen crashed into him without any apparent reason. Fortunately, Russell was able to carry on with minimal damage, while the incident seemed to impact Verstappen more. That's Max's style, Russell noted, adding that although Verstappen started in 4th and he was 5th, the race concluded with Russell in 4th place and Verstappen down in 10th. Russell expressed satisfaction with his ability to complete the race, questioning Verstappen's tactics as they had clearly cost him and his team valuable points. Russell pointedly reminded Verstappen that the Formula One track is no virtual racing game, it's the real deal. Despite having less experience and fewer achievements than Verstappen, Russell's words hit home. Verstappen's actions were careless and deserve a fresh perspective, especially from the FIA, who need to address such risky driving more effectively. In this instance, they handled the situation fairly well. Verstappen was somewhat fortunate not to be completely disqualified from the race. Rather than engaging in a discussion, Verstappen sarcastically remarked that next time Russell criticises him, he'll bring tissues for Russell's tears. This attitude doesn't reflect well on Max, despite his status as a four-time world champion and the fans' favourite in 2025. His actions are tarnishing his reputation. Consider the high point of winning in Imola with the Tifosi cheering him on, contrasted with the reckless behaviour displayed in Barcelona. The Formula One community will likely remember this incident for quite some time. Along with the 10-second penalty, Verstappen has received 3 penalty points on his super licence, bringing him to 11 out of a possible 12. Just one more point, and he'll face a one-race suspension. Many F1 experts argue that Verstappen should have been shown the black flag for his actions against Russell, including Nico Rosberg. The 2016 world champion expressed his views by recalling the incident between Sebastian Vettel and Lewis Hamilton in Baku 2017, where Vettel was handed a 10-second stop-and-go penalty. Rosberg believes Max's punishment should have been more severe, suggesting that Verstappen deliberately crashed into Russell, insisting that the act was truly unacceptable. He drove straight into him. You've got to give him a black flag for that. Initially, Max had the right idea, but then his team turned on him, causing him to lose his cool and collide with Russell. A black flag is a must in this scenario. This incident raises an important topic that's bound to be discussed soon: what lies ahead for Verstappen at Red Bull. Just before this weekend, Verstappen committed to staying with the Austrian team for at least another season, saying that he'll extend his contract to 2026 if he's ranked in the top 4 by the time of the Austrian Grand Prix. That's quite likely given his 25-point lead over Russell for the 3rd spot and his 43-point lead over Leclerc. However, the worrying part is he's trailing 49 points behind Piastri for the top position, meaning he'll need an unlikely miracle to compete at this level in 2025. All things considered, Red Bull seems to be facing a challenging situation. Once again, they're relying on just one driver despite efforts to strengthen their lineup. Now, even their strategy appears to be faltering. In the Constructors' Championship, a division they've seemingly chosen to overlook, they're stuck in 4th place with little hope of catching Ferrari or Mercedes. Adding to their woes, those teams are set to introduce major upgrades soon, while Red Bull, with their problematic RB21, isn't expected to do the same. Will Adrian Newey's insight prove crucial for Max and how he faces the fastest competitors in the future? Only time will tell. Meanwhile, Mercedes and Aston Martin are showing no signs of backing down from their quest to keep the 4-time world champion in the game, suggesting we might see some intriguing developments on all fronts. Such changes could lead to a significant transformation and reconstruction for the Austrian team, as Max seeks a team that can provide him with a car worthy of a championship, playing into his role as the team's star driver. Considering all this, what are your thoughts on Max's confrontations with Russell? More importantly, do you believe he can turn things around as the season progresses? Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment below. See you in the next video.